this is one of the locations where I have extended walk set up for phase 2 and phase 4. There's an elementary school nearby. So I'm gonna just kind of test it in the cabinet, but if you press, you can lock the call, you just kind of press the button to lock it, but if you press and hold for 2 seconds, it will give you 2, and you can see the other logic flag that kind of activates, and that will actually activate it for 10 seconds instead of 7. Ped clearance is still the same, and because Ped Recycle is on here, or Ped Reservice, it will actually hold hold it and walk, because it's not gonna, the reservice doesn't omit until you get to the ped clearance stage. So when you're pressing and holding it, you can actually, if you press it, it will give you 7, but if you press and hold, it will still give you 10, even if the walk sign's on. So let's go into ped, so you can see where I have my ped calls and then my remaps for my ped 2s. Doesn't matter where they go, this is just where I put them here. And then you can see in the timing plan, you got your 7-second walk. It's 10-second for the main street, 12-second for the side street, 18-second ped clear, 24-second ped clear. So we have a locked call for phase 4. So we'll give him a longer walk on this one. So we'll press and hold, boom, now we got 12 seconds of walk. And if you go into option data, you can see that Ped Reservice is on for 2 and 4. I also have conditional service on for 2, so it can reservice 1. People like to also pressing, well, it's a kid. They love pressing the button. So now it will give you it still only gives you a 7-second LPI. So 5, 6, 7, boom, and then it will start doing its ped clear afterwards. Left. And I just locked the standard call for phase 2, so this time it will only give us 7 seconds. And this works in the field as well with those buttons. So one of the issues I'm having though is with the new Moab buttons, although they're great buttons, they don't press them, so you could hear the kid clicking the button, and as long as that button's held down, much like a traditional button, the relay will close. But the Moab only puts out a pulse, so it doesn't matter how long you hold the button for, it will only pulse the call once. So I guess it's the idea is that it's not going to prematurely wear out the relay. But the issue is, for me, is I need it to, when you're holding the button down, it's placing a call, but as soon as you let go of the call, it locks the call. And I need that call not for 1 second, I need it to be held for at least 2 seconds to kind of activate my my logic in the controller. So it works fine with APS, and it works fine with the Bulldogs and the older Forever buttons. But I think the newer Forever buttons and even the Moabs will only pulse my calls. So this intersection, I can do it fine. There's another intersection that works fine. These are the only two locations where I have extended and protected adaptive phasing for the pedestrians. So yeah, it's working for now anyway, but I'll show you the logic that I used for it. You go into the processor, and this is all the logic that it uses. I'm not using 5 because in certain models of Cobalt, in the mid-2010 models, sometimes logic statement 3 or 5 won't work. Don't know why. It could just be the build. So in this case, 3 does work, but I tend to avoid using 3 and 5 unless it's brand new or if it's EOS. This is an ASC3 build. So the first 3 logic statements are just for preemption. Ignore those. This is just recall phase 2 where it's locked. Just because I have advanced detection there as well. I don't want it to skip the call, since the call next through feature isn't, I guess, with this particular default program, I guess. So I just kind of threw that in there just to always recall phase 2. 5 has nothing. So there you go. So there's your detection PED 2, calls logic flag 1. So that's basically when somebody presses the button, logic flag 1 comes on. So if detection PED 2, so if someone's holding the button, logic flag 1's on 1.5 seconds, so roughly 2 seconds, but figured 1.5 is a good medium. It will call logic flag 2 on. And then if 2's on, it will set set PED 2 6, which means that it will look for detection 6, which I've set to call walk 2 for phase 2, if that makes sense. So that will call the 10-second walk. And then basically it will, if logic flag 2's on, and then PED is on phase walk, it has to be on for 3 seconds, so that gives you that opportunity. If it's resting in phase 2 and 6, you can still hold the button and still get that 10-second walk by holding the button, instead of waiting for a brand new walk. And then it will delay for 3 seconds and shut logic flag 2 off. And then it's basically the same thing for the side street. Calls logic flag 3. Here's your 2 seconds. Sets logic flag 4 on, and then it goes to det set PED 2 8, which is walk 2 for phase 4. 13. Oops. And then I don't have a delay set up for this one because if you're late to this side street, you will have to wait another cycle, even though PED reservice is on. But if it's not running dynamic max, it will make you wait till the next call, just because it's a side street. So it will immediately shut off logic flag 4. And that's it. So now it's running a conditional lagging left. S for soft recall. And I had to set up a locked call for this Wavetronics. It's in a weird spot, and with that sign, it sometimes misses cars, so I have to reposition that at some point. So yeah, with the conditional service, you can actually have a leading and lagging arrow depending on traffic, so it's just a bit more adaptive here. Pretty busy here, so I gave them a 20-second walk instead of a 15, or sorry, max green. There you go.